What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my quick review of the MJX X902 Nano. And this is MJX's first crack at a nano quad that I know of, and this thing is pretty awesome. Very decent flying nano. I really like the way it flies, but I must say this is a little larger than what I perceive as a nano. Just for a size comparison, this XY Skywalker is the exact same dimensions as a Cherson CX10, and check it out. It's like a little larger than your normal nano, but this isn't the first time that we've seen this. There's a few others that claim to be nanos that are around this size, but I guess it's too small to be categorized as a micro. And we have other things like the Baying Toys X7, which are larger. Not saying that they're claiming that to be nanos, but they are a little larger than this, so I guess this is more so a nano. And the Zenlin X165, I think it is also around this size, not too far off anyhow. So I guess we can call this a nano, but the main thing is that it's small and it does indoor flying pretty well. The yaw rate on this is nice enough to fly it nicely indoors and do nice funnels. It's not the best yaw rate. It can be a little faster. I think that would make the funnels look a lot better and make it more maneuverable. But this thing is pretty maneuverable just the way it is, being that it's kind of small. And this also flies nicely outdoors. It has decent enough pitch to fight wind, and it's not much on the body for drag, so that would slow it down in wind. So it's pretty nimble and fast outdoors, and a lot of power from these props. The props are a little larger, actually a lot larger than your average nano. Let me see, the top race MRQ1. So its props are considerably larger than the CX10 style nano props. So pretty decent amount of lift and power with this little thing. And even with the prop guards being part of the legs, this thing has a lot of power, and it flies pretty long, around upwards of 6.5 to 7 minutes of flight with this indoors. Now, the flights that I have been flying it on video have been outdoors and cold weather, so it drastically reduces the battery life. This is its battery here. The battery is pretty small. It's a 150 milliamp hour battery, and other batteries do work in there, but you have to be careful because the polarity is inverted on this. So the polarity on this is the same as, say, your UDI 839. U839 has the same polarity as this. I imagine the JJRC, what is it, the H20 nano hex, I think it is, has the same polarity. Although I don't have that, but I hear that the polarity is reversed on that as well. So if you have those multi-rotors, you can swap the batteries in and out. Here I use the battery from one of my other little multi-rotors, and it's inverted as well. But as you can see, I put a little piece of Velcro on it, and that's to help with it not sliding out, because even the stock battery has this little cushion on here to stop the batteries from moving around, to make it more snug in there. And so you're going to have to keep that in mind as well. If you use other batteries with it, you're going to have to put some kind of spacing or something on it to make it fit snugly in there and not move around. And so the LEDs on this are really nice. It is a nice night flyer. As you can see, it has red in the front, well, orange in the front and blue in the back. Very visible at night. So fairly decent night flyer, although its size make it hard to fly far away, because it's so tiny. You know, the light, it would get really small and become difficult to make out the orientation of this thing if you fly it far away. But it does help that the blue is spaced pretty far apart from the eyes, and the eyes are just seen from in the front and on the sides. So really decent night flyer it is. the transmitter. I've seen another review or a flight where they were saying they were having issues with the transmitter, but my small transmitter seems like it works pretty well. No instances where I lost control or lost connection with it or anything. No connectivity issues whatsoever with this. I found it to be quite nice, and it feels pretty decent, and it's a little small, so I would rather use larger ones, but it's not bad flying it with this transmitter. And I am a thumb flyer, and these thumb pads are pretty large, so pretty comfortable. And the flip button is here, and the lights can be toggled on and off with this, so you can toggle the lights on and off. And these are trim buttons: forward and backwards trim, side and left flying trim. And this here, these buttons here are actually I think they are the yaw trim. So you do have yaw trims on here. No headless mode or anything like that on this quad, which I think it can do without, because I don't see the point really in having headless mode in a quad period, unless it spins pretty fast or it has GPS. That's for fun, or actually for it to work to your benefit, you have to have a GPS. For it to be fun, it has to be a really fast yaw rate. And that's just my opinion. And so yeah, pretty decent transmitter. No, it only has 2 rates on the transmitter, and the second rate is very deep pitch and a nice yaw rate. No auto flipping on it, but you can fly this with this transmitter, which is the X600 transmitter by MJX, and it works pretty fine with this. But of course you have the auto flipping on a 3rd rate, but I don't think people realize that the 3rd and 2nd rate are the same pitch, same yaw and everything. So they're basically just giving you 2 rates with the option on a 3rd rate to do flips with the movements of the stick there. So this one can be switched from mode 4 and all the modes. Mode 1, 2, 3, and 4 can be obtained with this transmitter here. And it also works with the MJX X800 and X900 transmitter, and the gravity sensor does work, so everything works with it. If you want to use that transmitter, my favorite to use is this, the G-Max Tech transmitter. It's actually one of MJX's rebranded quads, but I think this matches up better with it, so I like to fly it with that. But pretty decent flying nano with nice flight times. It's fairly stable. It drifts around a little bit, but not more than any other nano that I tested. And a pretty decent nano. Nice for flying indoors. One of the better flies out there. And I think you really should check it out. I definitely give this a go. So that's it. The MJX X902 Nano by MJX. Thanks for watching.